So last week I was at a real estate broker's office, gym, jiu-jitsu obviously, and the same question popped up in all three rooms. How do I keep going? I ask myself that question quite often, like, why do I keep going? How do I keep going? And this is just what I had to do for me to get to where I am at currently. And hopefully you can pull something from it. This is just what got me to the dance and what continues to get me to the dance and why I have my thought process and why my thought process is like this when it comes to training, jiu-jitsu, all of that. Because the same principles that you get from it, you just put it in different buckets of your life. Most people, they just see the physical, they just know me for that. So they just apply, the question to the gym. That's the only bucket that they apply it to, the gym, fitness, working out. But if you can go beyond that, and I went beyond that and I took that structure and all the things that I got from it and just started to drop it in other parts of my life, I saw a shift happen immediately. Once I got a taste of that, I was like, okay, I get it. I need to change how I'm looking at all of this. It's deeper than let's get swole. It's deeper than getting a black belt. So I guess that's the first reason. The goal is the goal. You have your goals. We all know that. Make sure you have your goals, keep it there. I'm not solely thinking about the goal. I had to switch the viewpoint. So if I focus solely on the goal, like I want to get a black belt, and we'll use that for example. In year 2, I've been doing it for 13 years, right? If year 2, I'm thinking about, man, that black belt's gonna sure look good when I get it. And I'm thinking about that every day. That 10 years is gonna feel like 20. It's not, and we all know once it starts to get that slow, and most people, the patience and the discipline and the price you're willing to pay to get to that goal, most aren't willing to pay it. And I see it all the time. And I see it because this person comes in, they get their blue belt, they quit. This person, they've been asking me for 2 years, what gym do I train at? What jiu-jitsu academy am I at? Or I want to get into real estate. And it's like, okay, well, here's where I train at. If you're interested, I could show you properties. Like, nothing. So along the way, that goal, the journey to get to the goal, it started to become my teacher, my lessons, my schooling. Because along the way, you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. Real estate, first getting into it, made a ton of mistakes. Jiu-jitsu, you're going to suck for quite a while before it starts to make sense. Lifting weights, hitting the iron. When you start getting to the 40s, that recovery takes a little bit longer. Those injuries stay a little bit longer, and you have to now adapt to it. But along the way, you're learning. When you're younger, you're so curious of the world and what's possible. And life starts throwing these things at you and you lose that curiosity. And I think that is such a powerful tool that we need to keep. You have to stay curious. You have to stay interested. And I kept the curiosity. I want to see how much more can I go? How much more can I push? How much more can I challenge myself? What else is out there? How far can I travel? How far can I go? Curious. And once again, you apply it to you put into all the buckets of your life. And that's what I started to do. I was like, okay, I'm locked into this thing. All right, what if I lock in over here? What if I stay diligent with this? All right, man, this took a while for me to get there, but once I got to that destination, man, the reward is great. What if I lock in on this thing? What if I lock in more? What if I just put my head down and just do the work? Let me just not even worry about time. Like, what is time? I was like, okay, I don't even care about the belts. I don't even care about how swole I'm getting, this and that. No. Because now I'm starting to become more interested and more obsessed with the journey. And yeah, I use the word obsessed because for me, I had to become obsessed with this thing. Anything that I get into, I become obsessed with. The cameras, even with the cameras. You know, it took a while for me to get it. It took years for me to understand it, you know, from the editing, shooting, lenses, all of it. It took a while. I think about when I first opened, you know, Adobe Premiere, you know, when I first got a camera, when I first got my lens, and I didn't know what was going on. And then it's like, you know, I could do it with my eyes closed. So, but it was that curious nature with, you know what, let's embrace it. Can you stay locked into this one thing and diligently work on it, focus on it? You know, pick something in your life that you're trying to get to. And that came from the gym. It came from jujitsu. It came from getting in shape. It sounds crazy to some. It would have sounded crazy to me 15 years ago. That, hey, this very thing that you're doing, you know, regardless of what's going on, I'm going to go get the workout in. At the time, I didn't know why I'm doing it like that, or, you know, why I'm going to keep the workout in. Something just told me, you know what? Things are a little chaotic. Things are going crazy in your life. Let's have an anchor somewhere. Despite how crazy things are going on, hey, let's still lock in for this 1 hour, 1.5 hours in the gym. You know, take your mind off things for a second. Maybe when you come out, you'll have a clearer thought process so you can find the solution. And I did that. I did it, not knowing what it is. Later on, I'm like, wow, this is a superpower. This is a superpower. And if you want to look at, you know, the vanity side of it, you know, because of course it's going to be there. Look, the majority of this world is not in shape. Okay. When I go to a business conference, when I go to this office, that office, first impressions do matter. Okay, well, let's just keep it honest here. The first impression does matter. Through my journey, when it comes to business, and this is my experience, and I've said it before, I had to be damn near perfect to get fair opportunities. When I started to realize, like, okay, they're different playing fields for different people. I was like, okay, I'm going to use everything, every tool that I can get my hand on to give me a bit of an edge. I'm going to start utilizing that. And that was another reason where the fitness and the physique came into play, because on the external side, when I walk through any door, I'm making sure my presence is of a certain level. And that's something that you guys need to think about as well. Okay? When you walk through any door, I don't care if it's a Walmart door, what is your presence saying about you? And this is something that I take seriously every day, for a few reasons. One, you don't know when that opportunity is going to come to you. I've been in some of the just low-key, weirdest place, nothing's happening, and an opportunity literally just, if I was not ready and not on point, I would have missed out. So no matter where I'm at, I want to make sure the presence is of a certain level. And it's letting everyone know without saying a word. You're dealing with a different type of energy here. So let's move accordingly. The discipline, the structure, all of those tools allow me to skip the line when it comes to business, when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to all those things. So externally, yes, they're seeing, okay, this guy's a little bit different here. Internally, that discipline that you've been developing, that consistency, that grind, that relentless energy that you've been building up, that I was constantly building up. So when now the opportunity does come, or you're in a room where now you got some competition, you're like, well, I've been doing this for years. Let's go. But that only comes when you do finally apply yourself. That came when I applied myself to that. This is 20 years of training. This is, 13 years. This is years upon years, not months, years. losing track of time, really. But I understood what it can do. It's a superpower. I don't see enough videos when you talk about body game and things like that. Usually body game just ends up in, okay, how to attract a female and this, that, and the third. There's more to it. It's deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. The amount of just opportunities that have opened up or given me a better chance to achieve, it came from literally what I built when it came to training. But it's, you have to understand what to pull from it. The losses, like jiu-jitsu, you're gonna suck for a while. You're gonna get beat up, it's gonna suck. Take that as a learning experience. Allow it to be your school. You know, we're in a world where everything is just very soft, for lack of better words, okay? Guys, I guess I'm that old dude now who remembers back in my day, things were different, but it is true. It was a certain level of intensity that was required. It has to be. And if you can adopt that, you're gonna blow everyone out the water. That's what it was for me. But still keeping in mind, there's more work to do. Someone asked me before, like, man, you could just start flexing on everybody right now, this and that, and you could just, show off. And I'm like, nah, no, for what? Because that, kind of alludes to, hey, I feel like I've arrived, or I feel like I've made it. And I don't even believe there's no such thing as that. I'd rather take that energy of me flexing on somebody, me showing off on somebody. I'd rather take that same energy and put it to something positive. Let me help. Let me, reach those who want to change, who want to get to another level. Allow me to use my energy instead of showing off and flexing. Allow me to use my energy to then help that one individual, that's whoever. I'd rather do that. So the gym, I'm telling you, don't get blinded by solely the physical. Yes, it has the benefits, it's there, but it's what you build internally. It's what you build that you don't see and what you do see. Because as you're building that internal structure, that internal clock to say, hey, we're going to get it done now, you will see it because it's going to show externally in your physique. Just like jiu-jitsu, it will show externally. If you continue to show up, apply, continue to be a student, lock in, over the course of time, it will show. But you can't solely think about, I should be this now, I should be at this level now. It doesn't work like that. I used to think like that. And it got me absolutely nowhere. I had to realize, okay, let me just look around. Let's take a look here. I wanted it fast. Everyone wanted fast. Okay. Regardless of what's happening, I'm still going to show up. You start to notice people start falling off. That peer group starts falling off. Your friends start falling off. Your quote unquote competition, they'll start falling off. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna keep on going. And eventually those who were even maybe laughing at you in the beginning, like, what are you doing? Like, again, you're going to the gym, like, they're gonna be the ones, and I am speaking from experience. Those are gonna be the ones that will later on and come back and say, hey man, I really need to get in the gym. You got any tips? It's happened to me. I've lost count. So just hold on, hold on. This is coming from someone, in the 40s. And I understand more than ever the significance of it. It would have been a different story had I made this video when I'm 24, 27, different. It would be completely different. Now, take it from someone who is still in it, because it's one thing to get there. It's a different ball game, to keep it and then to grow from it and keep going from it. So something to think about. But okay, I think we've made this video long enough. Let's get out of here. Let's go Let's go create, let's go produce, let's go just make it happen. You know, I want results. I just lean on results. All this other stuff, I really don't care. I just don't. I try to fit into something that I wasn't when I realized, like, look, how did you get to this dance? It took relentless, obsessive work and application and diligence and like really wanting this thing. What is the price that you're willing to pay? Are you willing to really encapsulate yourself in this thing and get it done and make it happen? But we'll stop here before I'll make this video. We'll go all day with this video, but we'll probably do another one. Let me get out of here. More on the way. Let's go.